year. I know I look so forward to coming down to Great Falls and getting together with the guys. I want to start off by thanking the University of Great Falls, of course, one of our full-time members in the Frontier Conference, their staff, Josh Wetmore, the SID, for putting together, along with many others today, the webcast. I welcome all of the people that are watching this webcast on the Frontier Conference site. I also want to thank the staff at the Holiday Inn. This is the first time, as I told the coaches, this is the first time that we've been above ground with our meeting. We were used to going downstairs and doing our meetings at the Townhouse Inn for many years. And so we thank Christy and Shannon at the Holiday Inn for all of the work that they did prior and making sure that we were taken care of today with our many meetings. We have in attendance today our SIDs from every one of our schools. This was a new piece that we added this year. They've been meeting since 8 o'clock this morning. I want to thank in particular our instructors that came to us from Idaho and Oregon. Sam Grist and Mike Safford Jr. Conducted our workshop for our SIDs and our game statisticians, and it was just a huge success from what I've been told. I also want to thank our referees, our crew chiefs for football. Neil Peterson, our supervisor of officials, has brought our officials in as another piece to our great day of instruction and meetings here with the Frontier Conference. And after the media day, our head football coaches and referees are going to sit down off the field around the table, and we just think that this is one more piece that adds to the upward movement of the Frontier Conference. I always want to thank our athletic directors that faithfully come to this fall meeting, and we of course have athletic directors Bruce Parker from Rocky Mountain College, and Chuck Morrell, who also serves as the football coach in addition to the athletic director at Montana Tech, just got through chairing our football meeting, and Christian Oberquell from MSU Northern is in attendance, and I'm hoping I didn't miss anybody else that walked in, but our athletic directors play a huge part in the success of the day that we have that leads off the MCA clinic. I certainly want to thank Don Olson and Marion Olson, the executive director of the MCA, for continuing to join with the Frontier Conference. We have, I believe this year, 15 speakers that are going to present the next 3 days here in Great Falls that either are presently in the Frontier Conference coaching or got their start in coaching in the Frontier Conference and had certainly some connection. Last but certainly not least, I want to thank these men sitting on my right and left, a group that's just a joy, absolute joy to work with, and look forward to hearing from them as we always do at this time. Before we get started today, the athletic directors, the presidents of our league in our summer meeting, we always talk about a variety of awards. We have people that have certainly given for many years and supported the Frontier Conference in many ways. And we're going to start off today by honoring a gentleman, and there are a number of people that the athletic directors had put forth into nomination that are true friends of the Frontier. And the gentleman that I'm going to be talking about here, it's not going to be any surprise. Scott Manch, the editor of the Great Falls Tribune Sports, is a true friend. He's a true friend to the Frontier Conference. I don't know the first thing about rodeo, but I learn a lot in reading Scott's column. I thoroughly enjoy, and I'm honored to have been part of his Sunday conversations. Scott and his predecessor George Geis have set the bar for the journalists across Montana. And the ADs really felt that this year it was time that we honored the people that tell the story about the Frontier Conference. And I know the coaches appreciate you, all of you that are in the media. And so at this time, Wally, if you would, and I only have one directive, Mitch. This picture better be in tomorrow's Tribune. The Minnesota Twins fan of the century. Would you welcome, please, Scott Mensch. Pleasure. Scott, I know that'll be on your wall, and we certainly appreciate it. Thank you again, Scott. We really appreciate what you do for us. Wally, don't be sitting down. You know, the commissioner is a hack on the golf course. I mean, I'm not going to get any awards. But I've learned that the commissioner needs to be everywhere and he needs to know everything. And I was told by secret anonymous sources that our director of media relations is now out of reach. I won't be able to touch him on the golf course. Wally Felt got a hole-in-one at the Beaverhead County Golf Course. And I did a little research, found out who he was playing with. They authenticated, yep, it did happen. And so Bruce Parker, would you please come forward? I believe it was hole number 5. I believe it was 153 yards, and I think Wally used a 7-iron. So Wally, get around, and make sure you do get a picture of this one too. How about a hand for Wally Felt? And Wally, let's get another one. Shoot for the second one. There's a place for the ball, a place for the scorecard. And with that, I am going to call upon our good coaches. Certainly, it goes without saying, the best conference in the NAI, the toughest football conference, the SEC of the NAI, that one will stick. We want to congratulate certainly Chuck Morrell and his Ore Diggers for playing into the round of 8. We want to congratulate Coach Craig Howard and the Raiders from Southern Oregon University, playing again back-to-back in national championship games against Marian University. We won the first one. We came real close the second one. And you know what? There's going to be a Frontier team in the national championship again next year. So with that, Craig Howard.
Okay, thanks. Thank you. I tell you what, all of us as coaches really appreciate this man right here. Has done a super job as commissioner of this conference. This is the premier conference in football on the NAIA level. You know, we had that road to Daytona, and it leads through places like Havre and Billings and Helena and La Grande, Oregon, and Caldwell, Idaho. And if I missed, you know, the thing that I found in the 4 years that I've coached in this conference, maybe 5, I can't remember, is how tough it is to get to the playoffs. And once you get there, you know, it's never easy in the playoffs, but the competition we've got in this league certainly prepares you for the playoffs better than anything else in America. You know, we were so lucky and blessed to get to the national championship this year, but my brothers here helped us, you know, because when you go and play two of these guys, two of these teams in overtime. Another one is ahead of us. Almost all of them are ahead of us in the fourth quarter, but one of them was ahead of us by 3 touchdowns. And another coach here was mad all off season because the field goal kicker missed the bus. I don't know, because they had a chip shot field goal and they missed it, and he got about strangled there by Coach Van Diest on the sideline there. But, you know, the toughness of these games and the competition of these games is outstanding. And, you know, we got into the playoffs, and so we always do this. We always lose our 8th or 9th or 10th game. We always lose at the end there. So we go from being highly ranked to being lowly ranked, at least getting into the playoffs, but you're on the road again. And the president and the AD said, you do that again, you're fired because you're costing so dang much money here, playing all these road games instead of having a home game. Because it's tough going on the road and win. But the last 2 years, as we've gone to the Daytona, is we played most of the games on the road. And we play the number 1 team in the country. We play the number 2 team in the country back in Kansas or someplace. And I just know that, boy, when we played that game in October and that game in September and that game in November, those were tougher opponents. You know, I cannot believe, and it's a real a shame that only 2 teams in this conference go to the playoffs. Because I think that at least every year, at least 3 and sometimes 4 should be in the playoffs from the Frontier. But I can't change that. I guess, you know, we can work as coaches to change it, and our players can change it by winning games. But we kind of beat each other. You know, again, we play within this conference, and like I said, you know, losing that 8th game or 9th game or that 10th game can knock you right out of the playoffs. We started the year last year ranked number 1 in the country and played Carroll College, and we went to number 12 in the country. And then we fought back to number 1 in the country and played Tech and lost. And so, you know, that knocked us almost out of the playoffs. But, you know, it's a great conference, you know, and we've got some new coaches coming in the conference, and actually they're hiring some of our Southern Oregon alums back here. I see that Rocky Mountain College has hired an offensive line coach that I coached there, John Roy. John Roy, raise your hand back there, John Roy. All right. Now, again, we're a no-huddle team. We're running at tempo, and we had to tell the coaches change all of our signals and all of our calls because John Roy remembered about 50% of them, you know. But great addition there to the Rocky Mountain staff. We want to wish all you guys the best of luck. You know, our quarterback comes back this year. You got to have a great gunslinger in your offense, and Tanner Drosine was our quarterback who replaced Austin Dodge, who was the Frontier Conference and NEI Player of the Year, and one of the greatest players in the history of Southern Oregon. But Tanner was a different kind of quarterback, more of a dual threat guy, and kind of a learning the offense his junior year, coming out of junior college. It was a difficult transition for him at first. But once we got to the playoffs, like I said, he was battle hardened and ready. And as we played Baker, we're in a game in the snow. It's in Kansas, and we're losing the game. And he has that magic to get us out in a bad play into a good play. And he should have been sacked 3 or 4 times on the same play, got out of there and threw a touchdown pass to Matt Retzloff, who's the other player in our program I'd like to mention. Matt Retzloff, it seems like since I've been there, he's been there. He was one of the first local players in Southern Oregon, a kid out of South Medford High School, that we've got to play at Southern Oregon. It was important for me in the plan of building a program to get the local players to stay at home. They were all leaving. But Matt Retzloff was an all-state player at South Medford, chose to stay, redshirted his freshman year, and now will be a 5th-year senior for us, one of the best players in the Frontier Conference. Another great player coming back for the Raiders is our free safety, Julius Rucker. Julius was, out of the Beaverton, Oregon, Westview High School, but was a quarterback in high school, converted him to free safety. And he got some lumps and some learning pains the first couple years he played. But as we played in the national championship game 2 years ago, if you remember, one of the great plays in that game was his interception, breaking about 7 tackles and coming down the field and scoring a touchdown against Marion. And I'll tell you a real quick story because a lot of coaches got to talk here. But again, it's all about the character of these players that you coach. I got an email from a fan, and again, it wasn't a guy complaining about our play calling. The guy sent me an email and said, hey, I was over in a fast food restaurant in Medford, Oregon, and there was a homeless guy in there that was sitting in there, and one of a young man just came by and bought him a meal and said, here's a meal for you. And I asked the young man, I said, what is your name? You look like a college student. He said, yeah, my name's Julius Rucker. I play for the Raiders. And he goes, well, why did you buy that guy a meal? And he goes, I just believed it was the right thing to do. You know, and that kind of stuff is never newspaper. That kind of stuff is never publicized. But that's the beauty of I think, of small college NAI football. You know, these are real heroes playing this game. These are guys that don't play because they're on scholarship. They play because they love the game and love their coaches and love their teammates. And they're winners on and off the field. You know, for him to, you know, buy that, he wasn't trying to get credit for it. He just did it because what he said, it was the right thing to do. You know, we've got a final guy. I got so many guys I'd like to mention. We will give running back guy by committee. You know, I don't play just one running back. I play 4 and rotate them. And those 3 of them will be seniors this year. So, you know, again, Lewis Macklin is our speed back. He'll be back. But Melvin Mason, number 23, will be a senior out of Vacaville, California. And then Sean Tao is our other change-up back, weighs about 165 pounds, but got great vision, great cutting ability. You know, he'll be back being a senior. Our fourth, I call him the four horsemen, the fourth one decided he wanted to go to defense, so we moved him to safety. Ty King should be an All-American and offensive lineman for us this year as a 4-year starter. I think we've got 15 returning starters back. We open up against Eastern Oregon in our rival game, but they're all rival games in the Frontier. But our first game this year is with those Mounties from LeGrand, and it's always a great game. They have beat us 2 out of the last 3 times they played us, and they have a great program there in LeGrand and great head coach in Tim Camp. So, you know, the one thing good about LeGrand and Eastern Oregon is one of their best players is playing for the Detroit Lions, and Jace Billingsley ran a 4.3. I'll let Coach Camp talk about him. But again, we're excited for our 6th season in the Frontier. Again, I know and you know that road to Daytona leads through these teams up here. Thank you very much. Have a great season, all of you. Bye-bye.
All right. Coach Christensen, I'm Aaron Christensen from MSU Northern. First of all, thanks for coming out and, you know, kind of hearing what all the coaches have to say about their teams. This stuff's important. So, you know, also want to, anytime you get up and you get to talk, you want to thank the people that help you out. Christian Oberquell, I mentioned him earlier, he's our athletic director. He's here. He does everything to help our football program to be successful. So I want to thank him. Also, you know, we got our coaching staff. They're hard at work. We got a game on the 27th versus Rocky, so our camp's going to start soon here, and they're back working. So I want to thank those guys too, just to make sure they're you know, recognized. So if you look at how we did last season, we had a tough season. We had a team. We had 4 seniors on the whole football team. You know, obviously the season didn't go as we wanted it to go, but I do know that from the first game to the last game we got better, and I know from the last game to this spring game we got better. So we got a football program that's moving in the right direction. You know, the thing that we always get together and we talk about our goals as a football team and what we want to accomplish. Our goals have been the same the whole time. Our goals are always to be 1-0. So we always talk about just doing everything we can do to win our next game. And you know, after that game, the goal's the same. So that's our goal for this season, just to win the next one, and then after that, win the next one. And if you put a couple of those together, obviously you're doing all right. So some guys I wanted to talk about were the guys that our team voted captains. Should give you kind of an idea of who our leaders are. The first guy they voted was Zach McKinley. Zach McKinley's our running back. He has rushed for over 3,500 yards the last 3 years. He was a second-team All-Conference last year. Great football player, runs with passion. Anyone who watches the game can see he's a hard-nosed player, and he's the type of guy you want to be carrying the ball. So the great thing about Zach is he's actually probably a better person than he is a football player. Just one of those guys you like to coach. So Zach McKinley's one of our captains. The other guy on offense is Pete Morales. Pete Morales was a second-team All-Conference offensive lineman for us last year. He's a senior. He's the guy who's going to lead the offensive line, and you know, we're excited to see what he can do this year. More of a guard-type player, so we're going to try to play him at guard. We had to play him at tackle last year just because you got to play the guys. You got to put the best guys on the field. So on defense, Tyler Craig is also a captain for us. He's a defensive end. 9 sacks last year, 10 sacks the year before. He was a first-team All-Conference player for us, hard worker. You see his work ethic and you understand why he does so well on the football field. And then last but not least, we have a inside linebacker who's a junior this year, Garrett Fowler. He started at linebacker last year for us, and Garrett's probably the most improved player I've seen since I've been there. He's gotten a lot better. And, you know, every spring football, you just have that one guy where something clicks. And you can tell it clicked for Garrett Fowler. And his teammates can see it too, and that's why he was voted captain. So we're excited. You know, obviously those guys are going to be leading us. As far as our football team goes, a little bit different situation than last year. We'll have a lot of young guys playing still, but we have 17 seniors, which is a big difference from the year before. So gives you some guys to lean upon. On defense, we have 9 seniors coming back. 6 of those guys are D linemen, 1 linebacker, and 2 defensive backs. And on offense, we have a running back. We have a guy who played running back last year, Mario Gabato. We're moving over to wide receiver a little bit. And then we have another receiver, Jake Messerly, coming back. And we have 3 offensive linemen coming back who are all seniors. So kicker and a punter also. So we feel like we're in a lot better shape than we were going in the season last year. Obviously, with those seniors, those are guys we're going to have to be leaning on pretty heavily, especially early in the year. So we're going to do that, and we feel like I said, we're in better shape. So to me, the big thing is for us is to make sure we just keep that goal in mind. We want to be 1-0 and try to go about doing that every day. There's a lot of people at Northern who are rooting for us, and you know our goal is to kind of make them proud this year and show them that we're a good football team. So thanks, and go Northern.
All right, Tim Camp, head football coach at Eastern Oregon University. First, want to thank Kent. I always love coming up to the great state of Montana. It's a great opportunity to be able to speak in detail about Eastern Oregon University and everything that we got going there. First and foremost, I'd like to thank my family and also our administration at Eastern Oregon to give me the opportunity to be the head football coach at Eastern Oregon University. I think it's a great place. I get up each day and I feel blessed to be there. Our roster coming in, we'll have about 115 guys. It's going to be up about 10 from years past, but super excited they're coming in. We signed a recruiting class of about 38 guys. Then went into spring football. We had 96 guys in spring football. That was the most that we've ever had. It was like herding squirrels out there. You know, we have about 8 coaches who do a great job each and every day, and I think they feel the same way that I do about Eastern Oregon University. And the ability to have my coaches on my staff that have played for me gives me great pride in walking out to I am practice field or the Snowflake complex to be able to coach this football team. Our athletic director, Angie Weisenfluh, I think has done an outstanding job, along with our president, Tom Ensko, of giving us the opportunity to try and move forwards with our football program. I think we've been pretty competitive within this league. I think, no, I don't think, I know. I've been doing this now for 10 years. It's going to be my 11th year at Eastern Oregon University. And we play a great brand of football in, again, like every single one of these guys that we'll talk about if they haven't talked about yet, the best conference in the country. You know, the ability to watch other teams and how they play, the brand of football we play, the type of meetings that we have, just the little things that make the Frontier Conference the best conference. And again, you know, Southern Oregon, you know, Carroll College, Montana Western, it doesn't matter what game that you play, you better be able to play the correct way each and every time, because they'll take advantage. But I got to say that, you know, we're not content with where we're at football-wise at Eastern. You know, last year's season come down to about 3 plays, and they were all special teams plays. I'll take full responsibility for those things because I do all the special teams. But at the same time, moving forward, I think the ability to be able to bring back those, those guys that that were underclassmen last year and put them in that same situation, I think that we will get better each and every time. Our facility upgrades, the things like I was talking about earlier, the little things that are going to make the difference in not only retaining coaches but retaining players and getting on a different brand of player, I think is one of the big things for us. So again, very fortunate to be at Eastern Oregon and doing the things that we do. In talking about the conference, and I think that's one thing, being so competitive, that's one one thing I've tried to make sure with our football players, that we do a great job of embracing that. It's competitive, and again, if you don't embrace it, you don't hit this thing head on, you'll get smacked right in the face. And that was the one thing I think we learned coming out of the year before, where we thought we were pretty dang good. We were 14th in the country, and shoot, we went into Caldwell and we got smacked, you know, and then that was the 13th best team in the country. If we were 13th, they were in the top 10. So the preparation of fall camp coming up has got to be great for Eastern Oregon University to continue to do the things that we do. Some of the players, I know that's what you guys want to hear about, the players. Coach Howard talked about having a gunslinger. I think we have the ultimate gunslinger at quarterback, and that's Zach Bartlow. This was a young man. I think, his numbers speak for themselves, and he does this deal called Young Life Camp, and he does it every summer. I had our exit interview with Zach before he went a year ago, and I said, hey, here's what I want. I want a guy to be able to come back, and I want him to be confident. I want him to be able to come and look at me in the eye and tell me, hey, Coach, I need to do this, this, and this. I need to lead this team. He went to this Young Life Camp, and it was unbelievable. He come back with the confidence. He come down and he sat down in the chair, and he told me exactly what he was going to do, how he was going to do it. He couldn't have written it out any better. So needless to say, I'm going to Young Life Camp next Monday for one day, because I'm going to figure out what they're doing down there, okay? But Zach Bartlow is a football player, but he's even a better person. And, you know, he's going to be a guy that's going to be able to lead us each and every day. Calvin Connors, another one from Winnemucca, Nevada. Calvin is, in my mind, one of the top slots in the league. We got that; those would be the guys on offense. We have 4 offensive linemen coming back this year. We started all freshmen last year, but they did a great job. But then you move to the defensive side of the ball. We have a lot of guys coming back there too. So again, it should be an exciting year for Eastern Oregon University. Again, we're not content with where we're at, but at the same time, I know that on September 3rd, Coach Howard's going to roll up, and they're going to Southern Oregon's going to be there. That'll be a big test for the Frontier Conference, a big test for Eastern Oregon University. But that's what we want to do. We want to make sure that we're putting a great product out on the field. One other cool thing that you guys might be a note to you, we also are playing 6 night games. So that's going to be a little bit different for us. We're trying to think outside the box, trying to get LeGrand filled. We're going to be in Havre, Montana in a night game, first time ever. We'll get back on, I think, that following Tuesday. But at the same time, you know, it's going to be pretty cool. That our kids always seem to play pretty well under the lights. So if anybody else wants to schedule, let's go. All right. Any questions, comments, concerns? Thank you guys very much.
Mike Morosky from the College of Idaho. One of our biggest challenges this year is going to be to replace our best leader and then also our quarterback. The guy that kind of led us the first 2 years was a transfer from Boise State, Greg Doman. Just did a spectacular job when we had no leaders. He was there and did just a great job. We were happy to keep him in Boise. He's working for Hewlett-Packard now, and I say that because that's why I think we're all in coaching. We're all interested in young men being very, very successful while they're in our programs and also afterwards. And I'm very interested in guys staying in the Boise area and working and being great citizens in the community. The other guy, TJ Gordon, was our quarterback the first 2 years, and can't say enough about TJ and I think the respect he earned from his teammates and the coaches and probably many of the guys here, the coaches in the league. He was just a very, very tough guy, tough competitor, and really improved. Completed over 65% of his passes last year, and I think he was viewed as kind of a runaround guy, but within the structure of our offense, he really did a great job. This conference is tough. And that's one thing I've learned, and you have to be good to even be in games. And in the first year, this is our 3rd year back with College of Idaho football. The excitement level in the Boise Valley is unbelievable, and hopefully it'll be very exciting for the other teams in the conference to come to Caldwell. But we just wanted to survive the first year, and the ball bounced our way a couple times. Last year, our goal was to be more competitive, and we were very, very competitive and had a lot of close games. And this year we're trying to build the confidence in our team because it's tough to even be in games, and you have to play very, very well and be very well prepared to stay close, but it's a whole other level to win those close games. So that's what we're really concentrating on and trying to develop leadership. I think we're making progress in every phase of the game, and defensively has been very much a focus. We feel like we have a chance to be significantly better on defense, and that will be awesome. The returners on defense, we feel like are great leaders, and that's been something with losing Greg Dome, and it's different now. We've had guys who are a little bit more experienced, have played a lot of college football. Nate Moore, who's from Mountain View High School in Meridian, spent one season at Carroll, as a matter of fact, and has nothing bad to say about Carroll. He loved Carroll. He just wanted to come back to the Boise area, but was an All-American last year, and that's always a dicey thing how that gets decided, but I was pumped. There's not a guy that is more valuable in our program and in our school than Nate Moore, and he's coming back, and we'll move him from corner to safety just so he's more in the middle of the field, and he'll obviously be out of corner against certain when we get certain matchups, but he's just a fantastic person, player, will be a surgeon someday, and you know what as many will say, what college football is all about. Matt Crispo is a defensive tackle returning for his senior year, transferred from Weber State last year. Thought he was going to be with us 1 year, but loved Caldwell, loved the College of Idaho, and is going to go to nursing school afterwards, but just a spectacular human being and leader, and gets it, what we're all about, and so excited to have Matt back. He's very influential on the team, and you need that. You need that internal kind of leadership, and it's very, very important, and not the easiest thing to develop it. There's no cookbook for it, so it's nice to have guys step up to do that, carry that load, so to speak. On offense, we return a preseason All-American in Marcus Lenhart, our tight end. I think should be in a pro camp someday. I think he's that good. Maybe I've forgotten what it's like. I know it's freakish at that level, but he does some things, the way he goes after the ball and the way he runs routes. Kind of a complete player, works on all aspects of the game, and so is just a lead by example kind of guy. I think he'll have a very, very good year. The other guy's Tyler Higbee, who played half the season last year, had a high ankle sprain, is from Bora High School in Boise, and is just great speed and really a football player, and can run with the ball, and we expect great things from Tyler Higbee. And then with our quarterback situation, we have two guys in the spring played very, very well. Tyler Cox from Boise High School. J.J. Hyde is back. He played the first part of the year, then was injured in the first time we played Southern last year. Big guy and tough, from Valley View High School right there in Caldwell. And then I used to not be a platoon guy at quarterback. I just had never believed in that, being a quarterback myself and being an offensive coordinator for years and years. But I do think there's room for it. I'd still say I'm not interested in platooning, but I do believe in finding skill sets of certain players and utilizing those skills. So those two guys are different, and maybe we'll even see a freshman quarterback in there. I'm not opposed to that. But it's not easy either in this conference to put a freshman in there. So that's the head coach's job to protect that situation a little bit. But I'm not wringing my hands. I like the progress we've made and feel like we'll be okay. We opened with Montana Western and they seem to have our number. Very close games, but very, very physical team, and kind of sets the stage for the whole season. So it's an exciting time of year. It's football season. College football's the greatest game in the land, and really excited about the season. Thanks very much.
Those guys are taller than me. I'm Ryan Norris. I'm the head football coach at University of Montana Western. And first off, this is my 6th media day, 3rd one as a coach. I was in the audience a few years as an administrator as well. And I want to thank Kent Paulson for all the stuff he does. Our events and all that we do are incredible. And Kent's leadership, I think, has been very telling in that and really the development of the Frontier Conference, and that's I know very well respected by our coaches and all the administrators throughout this league, and this is an incredible league. I mean, I love the competitiveness that you go into each and every week, and we have such awesome coaches, and everybody's so well prepared when you go into the game. I mean, it's like the coaches have said, and Mike just said, I mean, what they've done in their just a couple of years at College of Idaho has been outstanding, and what a great addition to an already incredible league, and just knowing the amount of preparation you have to do, but also the first class football that goes on the field. This isn't a brand of football that you don't want to take your kids to. This is it's incredible football with incredible young men out there who go out and do all sorts of things. This is always fun to come back to this. I've got guys in the room who I played with, guys I coached, guys who were SIDs way back when I played, and it was really a really great family atmosphere as well. And it's been a lot of fun my 6 years in doing this. Moving forward with Western football, we feel like we have a really quality group coming back, and we have a veteran football team now. And I was standing here 6 years ago, that necessarily wasn't the case, but we do have a mature football team, and we have a lot of real quality young men coming back, and we have a good quality staff coming back as well. One guy I want to recognize is Rob Good, our defensive coordinator. Rob's put together one of the best defensive units in the Frontier Conference here over the last 3 years, and if you can play defense in the Frontier, and I was fortunate to be around the Midwest for several years at different institutions, and if you can stop teams here, you stop them anywhere. And he's done just an incredible job, and we hope the rest of us can pick it up and support what we've been doing on defense. But it's going to be a different year for us. We're losing some really incredible football players who started for us on that defensive side for a long time. Linebackers, Dakota Wainwright, a 4-year starter for at a nose tackle for us. Tyrell Penner, a Salmon, Idaho kid, and he's our 3 technique, was a second-team all-conference guy last year. And then Reno Ward from Deer Lodge was a first-team all-conference defensive end, I believe. And Reno's quite a good athlete. We think with those guys in a mix of some others, we feel confident that we also elected a captain for us, and he's really set the pace for our special teams, and our coverage teams have been outstanding the last several years, and after spring we feel like we're going to be good in that area again, and to have guys who are selfless, they're working so hard to they want to start, they want to get on the field, but Riley's behind TJ Benson, who's a first team he's a first-team all-conference outside linebacker, and TJ just tackles everything. It's pretty hard to beat that guy out, but the selflessness that these kids have, and how they'll just try to advance the success of the team through the best efforts they can give. Riley's been great for us, and one of the reasons why he got elected. Some a captain. We have Sam Rutherford coming back half the season. Nick Gibson, who they had a real what it's about. When Dakota graduates, who knows what he's going to go on and do. But the respect his teammates have had for him, and the kind of life he's led, and what he's done as a Bulldog has been incredible. And I think you'll see that at all the schools here. Thank you so much. I appreciate everybody coming, and I look forward to playing.
Van Dies from Carroll.
About 40 kids that will show up here Friday, give us a chance. The things that we knew we needed to do is we need to improve our depth up front at O-line. We have 2 returning starters and another one that started part-time. So we needed to get some depth there. We lost an All-American wide receiver So we definitely needed to find some speed, but the one thing we do have coming back, and that's our quarterback, Chase White, out of Shelby. Great kid, very mature for his age. He's already been married a year. And that and our running backs. We've got some great seniors, work extremely hard in the running back position. It's going to be a full backfield back there. We're talking about, who the guys are going to get the ball, but we're really excited about where we're at, especially in the backfield with what we have there with the experience and age. On defense, we have 3 returning starters at the D-line. That's always great. That's where you want to be good. We've got some guys that played a lot of snaps for us at linebacker. Probably defensively, it leads us more. Chase was voted a captain after spring ball. Seth Swandel, D tackle.